of the carbocation. But that does not mean that I will not be taking into account the E2 reaction. Since we are doing a specific kind of reaction, which is dehydration of alcohols, which is also called as the beta elimination, which is also carried out in the presence of a non-volatile acid like sulfuric acid, like phosphoric acid, like PTSA, para-toluene sulfonic acid, at a temperature, higher temperature of 80 to 85 degree and a concentrated non-volatile acid. So once we take, and the reaction can follow E1 or the E2, preferably it follows the E1, whenever there is a possibility of the formation of a more substituted carbocation like a tertiary, or there is a possibility of a rearrangement reaction, it would follow the E1 pathway. That means it will not depend on the concentration of the base. I would just have to form the first step, which is the carbocation, and the reaction would take place to give me the dehydrated alcohol. So it is a dehydration reaction, means loss of water. Hydrogen and OH are lost from the two carbons, different carbons, to give me a double bond. So what is going to be the pathway for E1 reactions when I'm talking about dehydration of alcohols? So since you know that the first step is the breakdown of the carbon halogen bond, since there is no carbon halogen bond in this, the first step would be the breakdown of the carbon OH bond. But since carbon OH bond cannot be broken down, so what do we say that the first step is actually the protonation of the alcohol to give me a protonated alcohol. This is a very important step because only once the protonated alcohol would be formed, it would actually lose a water molecule to give me a carbocation, or a carbon bearing a positive and oxygen bearing electronegative character would only come into place when I would protonate that alcohol. So the first step of the elimination or the dehydration reaction of alcohols would be the protonation of alcohol. So let me see the first step. So if I have this kind of a substrate, so this is R. So my first step would be, I have taken the H positive, which is my sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid. That is a role of a non-volatile acid which is taken along with the substrate. What will happen? The alcohol would become protonated. There is a development of a positive charge now. So there's a development of a positive charge, and this is characterized by, or can happen only in the presence of a strong non-volatile acid. So the first step is the formation of the protonated alcohol. Now, the presence of positive charge on the oxygen weakens the bonds from oxygen, including the carbon-oxygen bond. So what happens is there is a development of a positive charge now. So there is a development of a positive charge now. So this overall bond has become weakened. So that is a thing which I want. And that is the thing, because I have to weaken this carbon-oxygen bond. I have no other way except via protonating that OH. Protonating that OH is actually weakened that bond. And now the process of breakdown of that carbon-oxygen bond would be initiated to form a carbocation. So this is the slow step where now the carbon, it would tend to withdraw electron density because oxygen does not like the positive character. So what will happen is that this would acquire a positive character, oxygen would tend to acquire a negative character, and this is the slow step or the rate determining step of the reaction of E1, which we have seen previously as well. Then you would form the carbocation, and the loss of water would take place. So I'm actually initiating the formation of the carbocation via protonation of this OH, so that the overall C-oxygen bond gets weakened and it starts to break down heterolytically to initiate the rate determining step and formation of the carbocation as my intermediate. Once the carbocation is formed, then the step would be that would be just an acid-base reaction where it would form a double bond and the alcohol would be dehydrated. So this is the course of the E1 reaction for the dehydration of alcohols. So which one would be preferred? Obviously, the tertiary alcohol would be much favored than the secondary, which would be favored than the primary, and followed by the primary alcohol would be the least favored kind of a substrate for elimination. So we know that when I talk about E1 versus E2, so when I know that there is a more substituted alcohol which is surrounded by R groups, which is favoring the formation of a tertiary carbocation, I would automatically say that the reaction would be E1. The reaction would be E1, which involves the formation of the carbocation, and that has to be initiated via the protonation of the OH to weaken the carbon-oxygen system. I hope it is clear to everyone. Now, the E2. Let us talk about the E2 reaction for the dehydration of alcohols, or the beta elimination reaction of alcohols. The dehydration of primary alcohols. Remember, I have told that primary alcohols would be the least ones to have undergone an E1 reaction because the primary carbocation is the least stable and such reactions are normally not favored. So when I have a primary alcohol kind of a system like the primary halide, so I have a primary alcohol, so the reaction would never follow the E1 pathway but the E2 pathway. So now I know E1 versus E2, that yes, when I have a primary alcohol, the course of the reaction would be E2. When I have a tertiary alcohol, the course of the reaction would be E1. But when I have a secondary alcohol, it could be E1 or E2, preferably E1, because the secondary alcohol can rearrange itself to a tertiary, cannot rearrange to a primary. It can, if there is a possibility, it can rearrange to a tertiary. Again, E1 would be a preferred course. So it is only for primary alcohols, I would say, the reaction course would be the E2 pathway. The product formation is the same, but it is a dehydration of alcohols only we are talking about, because the primary carbocation required for dehydration would be too unstable when I'm talking about the primary alcohols. So the first step is again the protonation of alcohols, which is not going to be a slow step, but is going to be a fast step. The second step, which is immediately, which you know, the transition state is the alkene-like for the E2 reaction. So you have to draw an alkene-like geometry and a concerted one-step reaction where the breakdown of the carbon-oxygen bond and the attack of the base takes place in one step to form the desired alkene. It seems that dehydration of alcohols is not very much favored for alcohols, but is more favored when I talk about E1, because E1 mechanism is supporting all the factors which are required for dehydration rather than E2. But for primary alcohols, the E1 pathway cannot happen because of the fact that the primary carbocation is too unstable to support the formation of the carbocation as a step. So let us talk about the E2 pathway. So if I have this kind of a system, which is a primary, so the first step and it's going to be a fast, reversible step. So the first step is the protonation of the alcohol. Now the protonated alcohol is a very good leaving group. So a Lewis base removes the beta hydrogen from the protonated alcohol. So what will happen in the next step, which is going to be a very, very fast step as well, as compared to the E1, but actually this is not the rate determining step. You know that the rate determining step is a step which involves both the substrate. So I've written here fast, but actually